Okay, so here's the little teardrop trailer. It's so cute. This bottom portion here, I'm going to use this fabric to cover that. And then the upper portion, I'm going to use this fabric here. The the doorway in this area, I'm going to use this green fabric because I think it'll pop. The wheel, I'm going to use, for the tire portion, I'm going to use this kind of a grunge black. And then in the center, I'll use that little burgundy. The two windows, I'm going to use the same cream color that I've been using for the background. And then these little curtains, I'm going to use a smaller print that's similar to the bottom portion. Yeah, see the windows there? I drew them out off of the pattern, and I'm putting them on the back portion of the cream color, ironing them on with just I only have the one sided fusible backing. So, and then I'm going to cut the window out, as you can see, along the line. And then that's how the portions of the pattern are. I went ahead and cut those out. And I'm going to put the fusible backing and iron it, making sure not to get in the way of that where I need to cut it off. And that, it works really nice. Just holding the iron on there just really makes a nice, it really makes it nice and sturdy enough that you can cut it and hold it. I mean, it's nice. Here I'm just cutting it just where the fabric is manageable, and I don't have to worry with the great big either. If I think that particular one was maybe a half of a yard or something. Doing the same thing, I'm going to use the upper portion, see? And I drew out the fusible backing off of that. And I'm going to place it on the back side, away from that salvage edge once again, to get it out of the way so I don't cut it on the salvage edge. And I'll cut it after I get it ironed on there and sturdy. Then I'm going to just cut the fabric where it's much more manageable to cut out the piece rather than trying to hang on to the whole fat quarter when I'm just working with the corner there. It's a very, very minimal fabric for this. It's really fun. You can totally use scraps, as you can see. That's not very much. Then we're going to do the exact same thing with the door. Cut out the fusible piece, and I'm going to do the curtains on the little fabric here. Every once in a while, on some of them, I'll do all of them, iron them on the back of the fabric first, and then cut them all out. Whatever works for you. It doesn't really matter. I'm doing it on my ironing board here. My DIY ironing board that I love so much. And I do have a pattern for, I have a video of that. Same thing with the tires. I'm going to iron it on the back of the fabric. And actually, I had a piece of just a little strip off of a jelly roll that I ended up using for the tires. This is the little hitch that I'm drawing. I'm going up there and drawing the little hitch. I ended up using a little striped fabric that I thought would be really nice, but it didn't show up enough. So as you'll see in just a minute for the hitch, I cut out a black piece that was a little bit bigger so that you could see it better and have it pop. Okay, once again, I'm cutting out that top portion of the trailer right along the lines that I drew. This has really been fun. There's something therapeutic about it and cutting these. And so I was thinking about just cutting this part out so that you didn't see it, but I find myself watching some people cut different pieces of their patterns or different pieces, and I think it's kind of cool. I like watching it. There's something therapeutic about that. So, and this is not a very long video, so you certainly can fast forward it if you didn't want to watch that. And I'm speeding some of it up a bit so that you don't have to worry with it. Okay, so there's the little hitch I was talking about that was so cute, and I put black around it so that you would see the gray stripes. I really like that. And so, as you can see, I put it all on the paper, but I haven't actually sewn it down because I'm going to take each piece and do the parts together. I am going to mark where this was so that I can, because I did glue the hitch down, because it's going to stay there. And then I'll put the little curtains on the door, and then I'll sew those before I'll sew in fact, I already sewed the windows here. And then I'll sew the little curtains on. And you just do it layer by layer. You sew each piece on before you put the main part onto the uh, onto the fabric that you're going to sew the whole entire thing on. So same thing with the tires. I'll sew each piece together first and then layer it on top. And then same for this window. I'll um, I'll glue on the curtains, and then I'll take the curtains to the sewing machine and I'll sew the curtains on just as I did the window. I glued the window, sewed around the window, put the curtains, glue around the curtains, and I'll stitch those as well. Yeah. Some of it is a little bit tedious, so I got my pokey tool. Or you can have, like, if you have an awl or whatever you have. Um, and I just use my little pokey tool and get it where I want it. And then I can just hold it in place, put a little bit of the Roxanne glue, which that's the one I happen to really like and use. There are many different fabric glues that you can use. I like this one because I can just press it really quick and it won't affect the iron, and it won't affect your needles when you sew. And actually, if I don't like the position after I get it on there, I can pull them off. Uh, it's really pretty flexible. I really like this Roxanne basted glue. I get it on Amazon, and it'll be right down below in the description where you can purchase it if you need to know where to get some. So that will be fun. Okay, there's the other little curtain that got slipped away from me. Okay. And then, it's always trying to decide exactly which color to use, but I absolutely have some of this color, this Aurifil uh, thread that's this almost the exact same color. So I'm going to go ahead and use that to sew around the windows. And yeah, this has really been fun. I've enjoyed it very much. Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch around. And I did end up using this gray uh, thread, and I did end up using the little small zigzag. I didn't show cutting out the little flags and gluing them on, but they're in the pattern, and I just used some white cotton thread, and aren't they so cute? Just glued them and sewed them. Okay, and here you see the next step that I'm going to do. I drew out all of the camp sign, and then I cut them out rough, roughly cut them out, put them on the backs of each fabric that I wanted to use for the sign and uh, for the stick that the sign gets on it, all the little pieces. You can see the advantage to the double-sided fusible. Once you get it, you know, where you want it, then you could press it. Whereas I'm adding this glue. Ooh, I got too much on there. And then I'm going to, you know, iron it, and then I'll sew it. And then I'll take this off and sew it before I put it on the main deal. Pretty cute. Little tedious, but really cute. I glued this one down, yeah. Okay, let's get the... Oops, I keep hitting the camera. I am so sorry, but... I have it down close, but oh, goodness. Get off of there. There we go. Come on, you little weasel. There you go. Well, let me just put some glue on the back of this before I put it on. Okay. C-A-M. Now. Okay. I should probably do this long one first. Get some behind here. You do have just, oh my word. You do have a little bit of time with this glue, and actually, if you don't like it, you really can pull it up. Get this higher, goodness. There you go. I want to leave a definite there. Okay. Whew. That one's a little tedious. So see, then I'll take this off and I'll sew those on. I'm just going to use a straight stitch on these, and I was going to use black, but I think I'm not. I think I'm going to use the brown. And then I folded this. Where's the center though? Right here. That's the exact center. I can use this because you won't see it, but it also goes away with ironing it. It's one of those fix-on. Oh, fix-on. And it actually does erase it. The hot iron makes it go away. So then I was going to find out the... You fold this in half just a smidgen. Right there and right there. So that's pretty much in the middle. Now when you get finished with this, as you can see, I'm going to need to make a circle up there so I can draw that in and sew on it. But I'm going to go ahead and iron, glue this on so it'll stay while I get busy, and I'll sew all these down. This one I probably am going to use that skinny little zigzag stitch, I think, that I've been using on almost everything. Right, and I am going to sew that. Okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to press both of these down just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go do a straight stitch on this and do a straight, or do a little zigzag. Then I'll put this on and I'll do the seam around there. And I'm going to come up with kind of a cool seam, I think. A little jaggedy looking one, but I'm not sure what it is. Okay, so I'll be right back. Well, as you can see, I ended up using my favorite little zigzag, and I love it. Except on the letters, I did straight stitch. Such a cute. Added the grass. I love it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.